Hey everybody, Joe here. Welcome to day 2 of the 30-day drawing challenge. So today is breakfast items. So I've already made my coffee. I've been drinking my coffee, and I also have basically, I'm gonna reach over here, got my stunt mug ready too. So I'm going to set that just to the side here. But if you got your pens ready, got your paper ready, yeah, I think let's get into this and let's have some fun. So I'm going to hit my timer for 10 minutes. Start it. And yeah, let's. I'm going to pick up the mug, and I'm going to look at it a little bit, decide kind of maybe the angle I want to play around with for now, and yeah, I think so because it's on my table. There's a little bit of an angle here, so I'm just going to kind of think about what is the how does it look, and it's actually for me my sketchbook kind of overlays where it's going to be. But I'm not too worried about stuff. Right now, this is just kind of focusing on, what's the form of the monk? What's the form of the mug? How's the shape, coming together? The inner forms, the outer forms. What's the shape that it makes with the everything around it? So maybe it's not the best to start small, but I did. So, is it right? Is it wrong? Let's start a little bit bigger now, so that because there's a lot of detail that let's get this. I'm not too worried. I want the circle to be, this ellipse to be as perfect as I can. But I'm thinking about what's the shape between how it meets my desk. It's a little bit long. Here, come through here. Here's my sketchbook that kind of overlaps where the mug isn't going to fall off my desk. And then I'm looking at how the shapes come together. And what's this inner shape here? There's a this shape here. And I can see that there's what's this outer, the positives and negative shapes. Got a little bit of a smeary there. So there's the thick. Let's look at the thickness of the wall of the mug. How does it come up? What's shadow? What's the line? Where are the highlights? The other thing I'm going to think about too is probably a little bit of cross-hatching. So the mug I'm using today is from a local bookstore that specializes in horror and metal music, horror movies, books, and metal music, death metal, doom metal. I got a little bit of everything. It's really a fun store. For me, it's a little bit of a drive, but not terrible. My little brother comes into town. We make the excursion. So now what I'm looking at I know the form of the mug. I want to try and keep my cross hatching following the form, right? So I've got this circle coming along the edge. I want to kind of keep. The more I can follow the form of this shape. Basically, this is a cylinder. The more it's going to look like a three-dimensional thing. And now, don't forget, this is a 10-minute drawing, so it's photorealism is not a thing for this. I mean, it could be, but it's going to take you a lot longer than 10 minutes, I would think. Especially when you're looking every so often, you look at the camera and you look down at your stuff. But okay, so now I can see there's a little bit of a reflection of my sketchbook here. And I'm coming through here. I don't see me in the reflection. So now the stamp that's on the front of the book. See, this kind of comes, there's another line that comes through here. Behind. I've got this piece of gator board that runs over my this is basically it's a reading writing table. It gives me the angle. So now this is where personally I always struggle with, is how to get the text to look, like it's the text on the thing. So you're gonna kind of try and keep how the form is, right? Let's see, bucket of blood. There's this kind of cool skull. I think it's a wolf skull, I think. And I'm guessing that only because it reminds me of the shapes of the direwolf skulls at the La Brea Tar Pit Museum. Which, if you get the chance, the La Brea Tar Pit Museum is a pretty fun place to go to in LA. Well, at least it's fun to go to if you, grew up like loving dinosaurs and thinking about all the, not that there's dinosaurs in the La Brea Tar Pits, there aren't, but Smilodons, right? There's plenty of saber-toothed tigers, and but there's the thing they find the majority of it at La Brea Tar Pits are the direwolf skulls. I mean, because what would happen is you'd get this big animal that would go across, would get into the tar, and then you have, a whole pack of wolves basically jump on its back trying to take it down, and then everybody's stuck, right? Oops. So what I'm noticing is so my I've focused a little bit on the icon that's on the side here and made it a lot bigger, I think, and it's because of how I wanted the importance of it became much bigger than it is on the actual mug. So I'm just going to kind of spell this out here. But anyway, so there's tons of direwolf skulls that they've dug up. So they have a whole entire wall, might be 30 or 40, maybe it's 50 feet long. There's a couple of hundred skulls, and they're all, black tar. Okay, let's see. There's deep shadow that kind of comes through the whole thing. Well, it's not super deep, but because this is, there's a because I'm going to do a crosshatch, I'm going to kind of go across the form and think about how this there's still a curve to it, even though these are more vertical. I'm trying to get. That's one of the things with the pen. The only way to really get super dark. And it's a fine pen. Those two kind of come through with these kind of a cross pattern. So there's a heavy, thick line down here. And kind of come through the shadow that comes across the light that I've got. Now I kind of glanced at the time. I've got about 1 minute and 30 seconds left. And the reason I glanced at it is because I'm kind of with this kind of a drawing where you're doing a 10-minute thing. Sometimes I think about how could you make it so that it's a kind of stands alone. What do you want? What do you need to do to make sure that it's coherent as an image? And some of what it is just making sure that your lines your line work is you've got a good your darks move through it. So this is where we really kind of a cross pattern coming through here. You want to make sure your darks, you unify your darks. So if I put a really dark space up here, which isn't on the mug, but I want to make sure that, okay, I've got this dark here. Let's put that dark through here, maybe behind. And then let's carry it through to this other part of the design too. So we got it's coming through on this side here too. Oh, there we go. There's our 10 minutes. Hit the stop. And yeah, breakfast items. 10 minutes. Did you take the 10 minutes, or did you only do one? If you did one, you did 10. Did 30 seconds. High five. You got this. This is the daily drawing challenge, and what we're trying to do is achieve a daily drawing habit out of this. So lots more stuff in store. Tomorrow's going to be crumpled up paper. If you got newspaper, whatever you've got. I think in my head I thought crumpled newspaper, but I don't get newspapers, so just crumpled paper. And we'll see what it does. I think it's gonna give us a lot of lights and darks, some really interesting patterns, probably depending on how you crumple it up. My thought is that I'm gonna crumple it up into a ball, and then we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for joining me for day 2. Really appreciate you coming along and joining me on this 30-day challenge journey. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching. If you've watched this far, please be sure to give me a like and subscribe. And if you want to be notified every time I post a video, please click the bell icon and you'll get a notification. Thanks a lot. Love you all. Give somebody a reason to smile, and you just might get to smile too. Thanks a lot. Bye.